Hi guys, today we're going to take a look at Raubritters in the Isle of Ada surroundings area. So this is basically like some of these areas here. Now Raubritters have been buffed recently in the sense that they had their damage reduced, so they've been buffed from the perspective of the player, and it's actually a lot easier to hunt them now. So yeah, figured it's finally time to make the guide. So first off, we have a couple of analyzers here, as you can see. The first one on the left is with a bounty, 20% damage bounty active on Raubritters Skirmisher. As you can see, we're doing about 8.4 raw here. And here on the right-hand side, we have just a flat analyzer with just charms, no praise, no bounties, no nothing. Here we've got 8.1 KK raw. However, this is with one animus active on the skirmisher as well, without the animus on the chasteners or marksman. So the experience we're going to quote here is 8 KK raw per hour, excluding animus. So with full animus, you'd probably be looking at about 8.3 KK raw per hour. For the loot, you're looking at somewhere between 1.5 to 2 KK profit per hour, depending on the creature product prices on your server. I had charms active here. I recommend level 800 plus to be safe. I think even 700 plus here, maybe you could probably do it. Animus, I have 1 out of 3 on the skirmisher. So overall tier rating, I give it as about an A plus. The experience here is very good. It's comparable to something like Norkferatus or Dragalisks. It's pretty much up there. It's good experience. However, it's a little bit harder, and you also need like higher level to hunt here, which is why I'm giving it a little bit of a lower tier rating. And besides, the Bloodfire Gorge respawn of Raubritters is actually better than this one as well. So this one gets a little slight downgrade. However, still a very good respawn. A plus. Main negative also of this respawn is that you have these explosions. You have marked SQMs, which explode and deal like 30% of your damage or something like that. So of your health. So do look out for those. Make sure to avoid those. If you get hit by one, it's usually not the end of the world unless you've got like 30 monsters around you as well. But do keep that in mind. It does mean that you have to pay a little bit of extra attention when hunting this respawn as well. For the bestiary, it's about 6.5 hours for skirmishers, 8 hours for marksmen, and around 16 hours for chasteners. If you're considering bestiary primarily, then consider going to the Bloodfire Gorge once you have that unlocked. Moving on, requirements level 800 plus. You will need Order of the Stag quest access. You will only need to do the section up to like the access to the surroundings. There is a door we walk through here in this little house. It's okay. This color is not that great. Let me just change it to black color. Here, you go through this door. I don't remember exactly what is the access to this door. You're gonna have to check it out. I think maybe you just need to unlock it from the outside instead. I'm not entirely sure. Either way, it's definitely unlocked when you finish the quest. So if you've got a quest finished, you'll definitely have full access here. I'm just not entirely sure about this door, so you may need to double check. Anyways, this place, in my opinion, it can be hunted by basically everybody. Knight will probably have the hardest time because there's a couple of pulls which are very kiting based, and Knight's obviously not so good at kiting like the other vocations. So a Knight is, a maybe. But everybody else can definitely hunt here. Duos also full team hunt. Also, maybe not sure on the respawn. I think probably gonna be okay at like level 600 or so, but you're probably gonna overkill at higher level. However, it's pretty easy to extend this respawn to include more pulls. So I do think this respawn scales better for team hunts long term. Whereas the Bloodfire Gorge respawn that I've covered in another video is kind of doesn't really scale. There's just a finite amount of creatures you can kill. Whereas here you really can expand this respawn a lot and really maybe hunt here a little bit more efficiently. Anyways, for imbuements, all standard. Energy protection imbue also highly necessary. Prismatic ring also highly recommended because of that. As you can see, there's a lot of energy damage here, so I do recommend you get as much energy protection as possible. And the recommended weapon type is physical / earth. Physical with crypt strike proficiency 7 is best. Otherwise, sanguine claws also very good. Supplies per hour is like 1,000 ultimate spirit potions, 6 transcendence potions per hour, and potentially battle tactics, which I'm now realizing I forgot to talk about. Let me just switch back here. So this is around the difficulty. There is an item called battle tactics, which drops from one of the mini bosses in the bastion, which gives you a 10% damage reduction against all 3 Raubritters for 4 hours. So if you use it, you can then hunt for 4 hours, take less damage. Not something you need to do. I hunted here without battle tactics, was okay. In the video, I am using battle tactics, so you will see the reduced damage. However, it is okay not to have it if you can't access it on your server, or if you can't afford it. The price varies wildly. Anyways, moving on for charms, I recommend Inflame on Skirmisher, Wound or Parry on the Marksman. I haven't tested exactly Parry yet, but I think Parry would be pretty good. And Poison on the Chastener. For the wheel, I'm currently using the T2 Outburst with T2 Chain, which is currently the best wheel. However, after the upcoming Vocation Rebalance in the next couple of months, things may change. So do keep that in mind that this may not be accurate in a few months. I don't think the Monk is getting huge changes in the Vocation Rebalance. I think this video will probably, other than that, be pretty much accurate. But yeah, do keep that in mind that this is recorded pre-Vocation Rebalance in 2026. And the character you'll see in the video is level 810 Monk with 121 Fist and 52 Magic level. So I have a couple of levels here that I hunt on the Raubritters. So first of all, let me just clarify where you come in from. So if you're coming in from like the Edron shortcut, right, you would be coming from right here. And you would levitate up and you would come out here on the levitate spot. So this is the levitate spot in case it's not obvious. Here you've got the stairs where you go to the shortcut to the bastion. But yeah, that's basically where you are. So just in case you didn't know where this is, that's basically what it is. So when you come on up here, you levitate up. You've got one pull that you pull all the monsters from here to the left. Sorry about all the writing on the screenshots. It's kind of difficult to read. I know this on the map. There's too many all of these Isle of Ada stuff, so it's kind of hard to see. I know. Maybe let me choose a different color. Maybe we'll go for black. Will this be more visible? Yeah, black maybe is a little more visible. Not sure. Anyways, you come in through here. You do a little kite. You pull all the monsters and you pull them here. You finish off around here. So you do that. That's your pull number one. Then you go into this little house. You go down the stairs. Then you come through here and you do a pull in this big sort of area. There's a lot of monsters here, so you do have to watch out for that. If you're a knight and you're trying to hunt here solo, this is probably the hardest part for you because there's like 25 monsters here maybe in like a little area. So you kind of have to kite, kill some off, and then I like to finish by the doorway just so I have an easy escape out. Anyways, once I've cleared this room, I go through the doorway here, which like I previously mentioned, I'm not entirely sure at which point in the quest it's unlocked, but if you've got a quest done, it's definitely fully unlocked. And anyway, then I do a little lap of this section. I try and pull out all the monsters and sort of kill them as I'm kiting, usually finish somewhere around here. At that point, you levitate up in here, which brings you up. Hang on, it brings you up somewhere here on the back on the top right, and then I sort of walk through here. I pull out all the monsters from like this section here. So I'll usually do like a little lap or something like that and try and finish off the pull here. And then I go south and I rejoin here and I do this pull. So there's only 4 pulls total. There's 2 pulls on like this top level and there is 2 pulls on this bottom level. Something worth mentioning is that also if it's nighttime, let me get a different color to indicate that. Let's get like white color here. This section here on the top on this right image is where night harpies can possibly spawn during nighttime. They are pretty strong. However, there's only going to be like 3 or 4 in this section, which actually is not a big deal. So if night harpies spawn, this route is also still pretty much fine. And I think you can still do it. Like, it doesn't add that much difficulty. Maybe if the night harpies spawn, you wouldn't like take everything directly and do the pull here. Maybe you'd kill off the pull with the harpies and only then go through here. Something to consider. But yeah, night harpies can spawn during the night if you're hunting here. But I think it's fine. Doesn't really affect the results too much. Can help you progress your quest if you haven't done the quest yet. Anyways, that's basically it. That's the way I hunt Ada surroundings. Maybe something else worth mentioning as well. If you are here with a team hunt and you want to extend this hunting ground, then you can definitely go like here. You can levitate down and you've got 2 big pulls somewhere around here on the level below, which will definitely help scale this respawn for team hunts, for more pulls. You can maybe even go through like here somewhere as well. There's definitely a lot more respawn that you can add to make this lap work. So I do urge you to play around with it. I think if there is going to be like a proper team hunting respawn on the Isle of Ada with the Raubritters, I do think it's likely the surroundings area, this one, because this one is by far the biggest, whereas the other ones like the castle or like the Bloodfire Gorge are quite small, so they mostly single, maybe duo type respawns. Anyways, that definitely is everything I wanted to talk about in this video. It's dragging on a little bit, so I'll play the video now. Pretty good spawn. Not as good as Bloodfire Gorge for solos, probably better for team hunts. Anyways, thanks very much for watching. If you have any questions, do let me know, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.